Hello everyone, welcome to my Emmerdale channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The village of Emmerdale had been gripped by fear and whispers for months. John's sudden, tragic death had sent shockwaves through the tight-knit community. Who could have wanted him dead, and why? Every corner of the village seemed to hold a secret, and every smile hid suspicion. But today, the truth would finally come to light. It all began on a rainy Thursday morning. Detective Harper stood in the middle of the village square, rain dripping from her coat, notebook clutched tightly in hand. She had been piecing together the puzzle, following clues that seemed scattered, almost deliberately misleading. There had been alibis that didn't quite fit, stories that changed under pressure, and a tension in the village that could be cut with a knife. John had been a beloved figure, known for his kindness, his charm, and his stubborn streak. But beneath the surface, he had enemies. Not the kind that whispered behind doors, but enemies forged from betrayal, jealousy, and secrets that no one had dared speak aloud, until now. The breakthrough came from an unexpected source, Emily, John's estranged sister. She had been quiet since the funeral, observing, listening. Her eyes, once full of grief, now gleamed with determination. She had noticed something peculiar, a small, almost invisible mark on John's wrist, barely noticeable unless you knew what to look for, a mark that pointed directly to the murderer. Detective Harper followed the lead, tracing it back to none other than Paul, John's seemingly loyal friend. The revelation stunned everyone. Paul had been the one who had always stood by John in public, laughed with him at the pub, shared confidences, but beneath that veneer lay envy and resentment. Paul had long coveted John's business, his success, and perhaps most painfully, the affection of people who adored John. The confrontation took place in the old barn on the outskirts of the village, the very place where John had been found. Paul's facade cracked as Harper presented the evidence, piece by piece. The fingerprints, the secret transactions, the inconsistencies in his alibi. The barn seemed to grow colder with each revelation, the shadows deepening as the truth settled over Paul like a heavy shroud. You can't prove anything," Paul hissed, desperation creeping into his voice. But Harper's eyes were unwavering. She had proof, and the village had waited long enough. Emily stepped forward, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "He betrayed us all. John trusted him, and he paid the price." Her words echoed in the empty barn, a chilling reminder of the cost of secrets. As the police led Paul away, the villagers began to gather outside, murmuring and shaking their heads in disbelief. Some cried for the loss of John, others for the betrayal by someone they had considered a friend. But amidst the sorrow, there was relief. The mystery that had haunted Emmerdale was finally solved. Justice, slow and painful, had been served. That evening, as the rain finally ceased and the sun broke through the clouds, the village seemed to exhale collectively. The heartache remained, but so did the sense that truth, no matter how long delayed, could never be buried forever. John's memory would live on, not just in grief, but in the lessons learned about trust, deception, and the fragile threads that bind a community together. Emmerdale had been scarred, but it had also been reminded of its resilience. And as Detective Harper watched the villagers slowly return to their homes, she knew one thing for certain. In this village, secrets never stayed hidden for long.